Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police with Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog breaking the trail in the relentless pursuit of lawbreakers in the wild days of the Yukon. Back to the days of the gold rush as Sergeant Preston with his wonder dog Yukon King meets the challenge of the Yukon. This is the Yukon, the territory patrolled by Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police, that brave force in scarlet jackets whose inspiring motto has always been, uphold the right. McRae, a small outpost between Chilkoot Pass and Whitehorse. McRae witnessed the first act of one of the strangest dramas in the early years of the gold rush. On this particular autumn day, Francois Val had stopped at the claim recorder's office to check the route to Dawson. Sergeant Preston was substituting for a government employee who had been taken ill.
How much money do you have in that bill of yours, Val?
$200 maybe? Why do you ask, Sergeant?
Men have been killed for a lot less. 300 miles of rough country between here and Dawson.
They would find me one tough customer, I bet.
Just remember, be smart. Don't take any chances.
Like a fox. Merci, Sergeant. Francois is off to make his fortune.
Good luck, Francois. Here, King.
If you're after my money, you will have to fight for it.
Took the words right out of my mouth, stranger.
A good joke, eh? You are afraid of me, and I am afraid of you. Voila. Why we do not join up and be afraid together?
Sounds like a good idea. Anybody'd be a fool to tackle the two of us. I'd hate to lose my stake to some robber before I get a chance at that gold up north.
I also have a nest egg I would hate to lose. Your name, monsieur?
Jones. Wilbur Jones. Yours?
Francois Val. I used to be the finest chef in all Quebec.
Well, at least we ought to eat well.
Oui.
Come on.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Constable.
Are we on the right road to Whitehorse?
Yes, it's about 20 miles down the trail. I just came from there.
Bon, thank you.
You spot that brand new uniform on that kid? He's nothing but a rookie. Looks familiar, too. Wonder where I knew him from.
Kid or not, his red coat make me feel safer already.
There's nothing like a Mountie to make you feel cozy. That Mountie won't do you any good now. All right, Cookie. Let's see what you can dish up for Red Burke.
Come in.
Constable Dennis Burns reporting for duty, Sergeant.
Well, Dennis, this is a surprise. When did you get up from boot camp?
Oh, I reported in to the inspector last week. He assigned me to you. He said you'd probably resign if he didn't.
Well, when I saw your name on the list of recruits, I said to the inspector, I've known him since he was in knee breeches. I'm glad he sent you along. Have you seen your mother?
Yes, sir. I dropped off in Whitehorse on the way down. Oh, good old King. Do you still remember me, boy?
Well, why shouldn't he? After all, we boarded with your mother for quite a period in Whitehorse. Here, pull up a chair, Dennis. Being as I'm tied down when the inspector comes through, I'll introduce you to the mysteries of claim recording.
You mean this is going to be my assignment?
Well, we don't conjure up crimes to order, Dennis. You'll find there's more writing than writing in police work.
Yes, sir.
Now, in this column, you'll find each claim number. Over here, you'll have the description of the claim, the man that owns it, and the date it was filed.
What's wrong with King?
Oh, he's got the best nose for trouble in the whole force. What's the matter, fella? Wait a minute, listen.
Dr. Harper said he'd be right over. How's the patient?
Oh, he's still unconscious. A vicious blow on the back of the head. Probably a skull fracture. Somebody must have robbed him. His money belt's gone. Nice fella, too.
Do you know him?
No better than thousands of others that stop by here asking for advice. Name is Francois Val.
I passed him this morning coming in on the trail. He was with another man then.
Well, he picked up a traveling companion, then. He was alone when he left here. We must have met him on the trail. Can you describe the other fellow?
Yes, sir. He was a big red-headed fellow with a knife scar on his right cheek. I'd know him anywhere.
I better pick up his trail while it's still hot. If we want to ask him some questions, then he'd better know the answers.
Sergeant.
Yeah?
Well, sir, you see, I was hoping... Well, I thought that maybe...
That this would be your chance to get into action, is that it?
Well, I did see the man firsthand, and I might be able to recognize him more easily than you would.
You've lived in the Yukon long enough to know that even a common thief is potentially dangerous in this country. That should put you a cut above the ordinary rookie. I realize this fella's a dangerous criminal. I've been ordered to remain here until the inspector arrives.
I've been told, sir, that on your first assignment you brought in a murderer.
Bullseye. The assignment's yours, Dennis. Bring in your men.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Bert's eventual destination was the border, but he was crafty enough not to head directly for it. He proceeded by a roundabout route, sometimes backtracking, sometimes hurrying along the main trail, sometimes striking out across open country, trying in every way to throw off any possible pursuer. Young Constable Burns found himself pitted against a clever man in Lefty Burt. More than once, the rookie lost the trail of his elusive quarry, a trail that covered the entire district. But Burns' determination and his knowledge of the area prevented Burt from shaking him off completely. With Burke always a few days ahead of him, it was almost a week later that the criminal's erratic course led Constable Burns back to Whitehorse. After turning in his report at the local station, Burns' first stop was home.
Will you come quietly, or shall I use the cuffs?
Oh, Dennis. Oh, you gave me quite a start, young man.
I didn't mean to frighten you, Mother.
Goodness, I'll never get over how this uniform becomes you. My boy on the force. Why, it seems like only yesterday I was hiding the cookie jar from you.
Oh, now, Mom.
What brings you back to Whitehorse so soon? I thought you were on duty at McRae.
I'm on a case, Mother. Think of it, only a month out of boot camp and my first assignment.
Dear, I hope there's no danger.
Oh, don't worry, Mother. We've talked this out so many times. I'm a man now, able to do a man's work.
You're also my son, and you're all I have. Be careful.
Of course, Mother. That's part of our training. There's no more efficient force in the world than the Northwest Mounted. If Dad were alive, he'd understand. It's just a routine case, Mother. A Chichaco was assaulted and robbed on the river trail. Thieves led me quite a chase, but don't worry. I'll bring him in.
How can you be so sure?
Because I saw the man with my own eyes, and I'll never forget his face. But here I am, spending my time when I should be doing my duty.
Well, but you've only been here a minute, and you haven't told me a thing about this robber.
You'll see the red-headed scoundrel when I bring him in. Goodbye, Mother. I may be back sooner than you think.
Dennis, Dennis!
Burns had tracked Burke into Whitehorse, but not out of it. The young constable suspected that Burke, after his long trip, would remain in town at least for a night. And sure enough, in front of a cafe, he spotted his horse.
That's the Mountie.
Henry, there's a horse tied out front belonging to a man with red hair and a scar on his right cheek. I want him.
Feared you're too late, Constable. That was Red Burke. He just now dragged everything and run out that door like the devil was after him.
Stop in the name of the crown!
Go over there and sit down, King. Go on. I don't wish to worry you unnecessarily, Alice, but I was hoping you could give me some late information about Dennis.
Dennis is in trouble.
Now, if I was certain of that, I'd be the first to tell you. The point is, we haven't had a report from him for 2 days. Now, it's fairly possible that he hasn't had the opportunity. Corporal Ross told me the last time he talked to Dennis, he was on his way here. And the last time anyone saw Dennis was that same day, coming out of the White Horse Cafe in pursuit of the criminal.
This man Dennis is chasing, do you have a good description of him?
Yes. These just came off the press. This case started out as a routine robbery investigation. Yesterday, the victim died. Now it's a case of murder.
There's no mistake? This is an accurate description?
Yes.
The man Dennis is after ran away when my son was a year old.
Ran away?
He's my husband, Tim Burke. Dennis' father.
The story Alice Burns told Sergeant Preston made him realize he was confronted with his strangest case. A year after Dennis was born, Alice's husband, Tim Burke, had left her. When she later read in the newspaper that Tim Burke had been sent to prison for armed robbery, she changed her name to Burns and moved to the Yukon. Now, after all these years, a cruel trick of fate had brought Burke back into their lives.
Well, somehow, Tim traced me here. The first time he came, he forced me to give him all the money I had. And the second time, that was the morning of the day Dennis got home. I had none to give him.
Well, I take it that Dennis and Burke didn't meet here.
Oh, no. No, Dennis didn't get home till after Burke had left. Hours after.
What did Burke do when you refused him?
Left in a fury. He was just like an insane man. He has a terrible temper. He'll stop at nothing. Sergeant, Dennis is so determined to make good. What can we do?
Well, there's just one thing to do. And that's to stop Dennis before he catches his father. Now, don't worry, Alice. It's going to be all right. Come on, King.
As Alice Burns made her disclosure to Sergeant Preston, Lefty Burke, ill-equipped, half-starved, plunged deeper and deeper into the wilderness to throw off his relentless pursuer. Every sound, every movement of nature seemed to him a warning of his impending doom. Meanwhile, Constable Burns pushed on in dogged pursuit, using every trick he had been taught from the woodman's book to bring the criminal to justice. But one thing he did not know: the man he tracked was his father. The St. Elias Range on the southern border of the Yukon, tough and formidable for pursued and pursuer alike. To a harassed man as unfamiliar with the country as Burke was, it appeared to mean freedom. To a determined man like Constable Burns, it was a challenge. But to Sergeant Preston, who pursued them both, it meant the last act of a tragedy which he knew had to be played to the end.
white man's camp, all right. He's no longer trying to cover up his trail. Has Burke thrown all caution to the winds? Or is it just a clever trick? Fox and hounds game. Show yourself and then double back. But it won't work on a mountainside, Burke. If it's an ambush you're after, I'm taking the chance.
Take a good look, Mountie. You're suspecting a trick, aren't you? And it'll slow you down. The trick is, laddie boy, that I'll keep on running while you're looking for an ambush.
Bargained for this, and neither had Burke. But he's coming in, dead or alive.
Here, fella, try that. You know, King, I think I've got the answer to our problem. Let's walk on down to the lake and see if I'm right.
As the late fall comes to the Yukon, night in the mountains drops down with dangerous swiftness. But this sudden darkness came as a blessing to Sergeant Preston because it gave him an idea.
There you are, King. My hunch was right. It was a campfire. And the question is, who is it? Dennis or his father?
This is the kind of thing the men tell you about. The kind you don't find in the manual. Some men don't come back to tell about it. If I turn back tomorrow for help, I'll be safe. But I'm not turning back. I'm climbing tomorrow, and the next day, and the next if I have to. I'm bringing in Burke.
That Mountie's down there somewhere. Smell his blasted campfire. Got the fever, and I'm half dead from cold. Could give myself up now and be sure of living. A hospital, a few years in jail, and I'm as good as new. I'm not giving up to that young squirt. I'm crossing the border tomorrow. It can't be much further. Hang on just a little longer, I'll be free.
Burke probably took the easier slope to the left. I've got to reach in this side of the border today. There may be no tomorrow for Burke. Maybe not for me, either.
Can't quit now. Gotta go on. Gotta beat that kid. Gotta make that ridge before he does. That ridge and I'm free.
Gun's jammed. Now what? There's only one thing left to do. Now! Blast you! Ah!
He's still alive. Gotta finish him off. Dead men can't give evidence. Gotta make sure. Must be going crazy. That's me down there, me, Red Burke. 20 years ago, the hair, the eyes. My kid, maybe. Nah, I'm just seeing things out of my head. Burke!
How is he, Sergeant, please?
The doctor said he had a close call, but he recovered. You'd be very proud of your son, Alice.
Oh, so happy. May I see him now?
Yes, he said you could see him for a few minutes.
Oh, about Tim. Does Dennis know?
No, he doesn't, Alice. And as far as I'm concerned, Red Burke's secret lies buried with him.
Thank you.
Well, King, this case is closed.